First, we would like to thank everyone who took part in our annual Customer Appreciation Week. We'd like to especially thank the hundreds of brand new customers who use WagerTalk.com for the very first time. Our regulars already know we offer $9 Mondays and have a featured handicapper for $2 Tuesdays. We're going one step further. For the final 2 Thursdays in February, every single daily package will be half priced on Thursday, February 18th and Thursday, February 25th using coupon code THANKS50. There is no limit to the number of usages or the number of cappers you can purchase, and the same code THANKS50 will work for both Thursdays. Just another way for us to thank you for your patronage.
All right, we are ready to rock and roll here, guys. Welcome in. It is another edition of the NBA Tip-Off Show powered by WagerTalk.com on this 18th day of February 2021. We mark this occasion. Why? So Tony Finn remembers what today is, more or less. Guys, 3 games on the association today. It's a light card, but 3 very interesting games. Do any of them carry some value? We're going to break each one of them down for you. And again, we're going to do it with 3 of the absolute very best WagerTalk.com has to offer, starting with the man on the top. He's been watching this Lakers line like a hawk. He is ready to pounce. He's ready to go. Ski Profit in the house. Rob Vino trying to hold him back right now, going, wait for it, Ski. It's got, hold on, another half a point. And there's Tony Finn, who just really has no idea where he is. So we're going to amuse him here. And guys, exciting day, Thursday, the 18th of February. That means we got half-price packages right now at WagerTalk.com. That's right. This Thursday, next Thursday, the 18th and the 25th, your opportunity to grab half-price packages by using the code THANKS50. Just use the code THANKS50 at checkout today and next Thursday, and you get half-price packages from all the WagerTalk.com handicappers. And Ski, we missed you yesterday, brother. How you been? What's going on? And are you ready for it? It's a light card, but there might be some value on this card here today.
Yeah, we got a great crew. I enjoyed being with you guys the last time we were on, so I'm looking to make some money on today's slate. Definitely looking for it within these 3 games.
All right, and Rob, you continue just to profit along here, man. Win, win, win in basketball. It's all you do. So, how you been since the last time we spoke to you? What do you got going on tonight at Wager Talk?
Well, my accounts all appreciated last night, Joe, in the NBA. 7-0. There's probably some clients, although I have good clients, but some probably are like, it was about damn time that we got a night like that. But it was a good night, obviously. Swept the NBA board. As far as the card goes today, college basketball's up right now. I've said it, a lot of times on this show, Joe, but I've been waiting each and every day. Last night I waited once again, and it turned out to be a huge night when you have to really get a grip on these personnel moves. Who's in, who's out. I think we've got a pretty firm grasp on it today. I don't think we're going to see much more movement as far as players go. So I'll probably be up with NBA within, 30, 60 minutes of the conclusion of this show.
All right. Thanks 50, guys, at checkout. Don't forget, thanks 50 today and next Thursday only for half-price packages. Get ready to head over to Rob's page. And Tony Finn, I don't know if you caught that. Rob said he swept the board, so I'm guessing he had the over in Miami game, not the under like you and I last night, my friend. Have you recovered from the beat last night? It was absolutely brutal.
If Rob had 7 effing NBA plays, then he had every play in the book. I mean, he hasn't met a play he didn't like, obviously.
Not last night.
Listen, the NBA had been pretty good this week. I'd been perfect coming in last night. I really liked my card. I stepped up, had 3 plays, and I ended up going 1 and 2 in the NBA. And according to some people, I'm lucky to have done that because I consider right now there's only one. It's not the Lakers. It's not the Clippers. It's not Utah. It's Dame time. If you're betting against Portland, you're throwing your money away at this point. Am I wrong, guys? So far, so good. Last night was not a good night. I did lose that Golden State under, which I thought was a lock, like I've told you guys off air. I walked away with Golden State, I think, up 8 or something with about 3 minutes to go, and they need 30 to beat me. And Next thing I did, I looked up. It was 105 going in overtime, and according to Rob, he heard me cussing all the way from Vegas to in Iceland, wherever he's living at right now. I don't know.
It's a pretty
It's
good
kinda
description.
I'm ready for another night. How about you? Let's go at it. Let's get it on.
Lines.
Let's
Yes,
get it
the
on.
Miami game sucked. It was our contrarian play yesterday, too. Didn't work out. For most of regulation, it was great. Overtime's a different story. But 3 games here tonight. Obviously, we're just going to go over each and every one of them. And we're going to start here, guys. Toronto Raptors, Milwaukee Bucks. Let's take a look at this game here, fellas, first and foremost, as the Raptors opened up as a 6.5-point underdog in this one. Total opened up right around that 233 and a half right now. I'm still seeing a lot of 6.5s. I am seeing the total creeped up here to 235 and a half. So, Ski, I'm going to come to you first, my man. It's just been a strange-ass season for Toronto. It took them a little while to get the offense going. They look like they've got it going here. When you look at this game, are you looking at it from the total or from the side perspective?
Probably more so the side. I want to see if Kyle Lowry's going to play. I think they definitely need him to play the way that they want to play against Milwaukee, or in order to have success against them. So I think Milwaukee will want to avenge their loss that they just had, and I think they'll play better this game. They've been pretty good at home, especially in the first half. So I probably lean Milwaukee first half and full game on this one. And Milwaukee, they don't usually lose home games, but going back like to the beginning of maybe 2 seasons ago, after they lost a home game, they're 17-3 straight up, winning by 11 points per game. So I think I like Milwaukee here today.
2 teams hard to figure out there, Rob. They're not pulling the panic alarm, obviously, in Milwaukee, and there's no need to at this point. But how do you approach this game tonight? 6.5 at home for Milwaukee.
Well, since we only have 3 games to talk about today, Joe, I'll chew up some of this time by starting Tony Finn, putting a blowtorch to him. With that awesome SDQL number that Ski just gave out for us, Tone. What do you think of that, Milwaukee?
Don't worship idols. Don't worship idols.
Oh, man, right over his head. Real quick, Joe, on this game, of course, a rematch with a day in between, but Milwaukee's been an absolute nightmare to figure, right? They have a 4-game losing streak where they really shouldn't have lost any of them. They come back on a 5-game win streak against the spread. Now they're in a 4-game slide against the spread. Just very, very streaky. I'd like to attribute their lack of defense to the absence of Drew Holiday. But I don't think you can, because if you just keep going back and back and back into their schedule, they've just been lousy defensively all season long. I think where Milwaukee's concerned, I'm going to make an analogy here for you between this and college football. When you have college football, extreme tempo teams with defenses that allow 30 plus, I mean, the immediate justification given to that is, well, the defense is on the field so much because the offense scores so quick that they're tired and they're going to give up points. And I almost feel like that's Milwaukee. They play at such a high tempo. They score so quickly. If they were going to really work on the defensive end, it would probably take too much out of them for a full 48 minutes every single regular season game. So I don't know when they're going to come play defense, even though on paper, with this group of guys, they've shown to be really good defensively in the past. Just hasn't been there this year. But I don't want to guess when they're going to be good, when they're going to be bad. They're 7-2 over the number last 9 games. There's one push if you want to go back 10. 10 of their last 15 have hit 240 plus. And you can combine that with Toronto, which has basically become the same thing. They get OG Anunoby back the other night. Now they're 5 of their last 9 have gone over 240. So it's not like this total is insurmountable for these 2 teams. You just wonder if the other night, getting a chance to see each other doesn't breed some familiarity, which leads to some stops on the defensive end. As Ski said, Kyle Lowry's an important piece, especially on the defensive end. When he left the other night, guys, it didn't look great. I actually made a note that I didn't think he would come back tonight. I know it's still up in the air, but we'll see. Right now, Joe, I think if you don't look over in Milwaukee games, you just can't look at all. So for me right now, I would say over the number.
Yeah, very hard not to look at that. Still questionable, that being Kyle Lowry for this one. It has not been good here, Tony Finn, for Milwaukee. Yeah. I mean, it's been a little rough stretch here, but I'm looking at a number of 6.5. Do you trust Milwaukee, especially against this Toronto team that just beat them by 11 48 hours ago? Do you trust them to win big in this one?
I'll ride with Rob on this. I like Milwaukee in this game in the first half, and not that I would shy away from playing both first half and game because of the Lowry question. I would ride with Rob again, and that is I'm doing the same thing Rob is. I just can no longer be so wrong about player personnel, who's going to play, who's not going to play. You know, when Doc upgrades a player from out to questionable, if I told you what the percentage is of that player actually being available, it would make no sense last night when they upgraded Leonard and he didn't play. So as far as Milwaukee, and I'm straying again, but as far as Milwaukee and Toronto go, this is two teams. Look at the difference between these two teams from last year. Milwaukee did sacrifice some defense for offense, but in large, Milwaukee does not protect the defensive glass. Look at these two teams were 1-2 at this time last year in defense. I think I believe Milwaukee allowed about 103 points a game. Toronto about 105 this year. What is it? It's 110, 111, 112 for both teams. It's a pretty big drop. And where the main difference is protecting the rim. They sacrificed outside open looks to protecting the rim. It doesn't seem to be very important to either one of these teams this year. It's just not been the same. And the drop-offs, again, have been fairly similar from first to second to 13 to 16th in points allowed per 100 possessions. You have to like the healthy team, the team that seems to come out hot and on fire and with some energy, and that's been Milwaukee, in my opinion. Considering that Toronto, how many games did Toronto lose last year? I know it was a shortened season, but I think they lost a total of 19. How many losses do they have this year? I mean, they're pretty close to 19 already, are they not? I'll take Milwaukee tonight. That would be my lean.
All right, they're laying the points there, going Milwaukee, the home team here. Let's move on to that second game that involves the other team from Los Angeles, that being the Lakers, waiting to host the Nets here. Opened up at a 2.5 number, guys. I'm seeing 3 in some places, 2.5 in others. The total is the interesting thing here, as it opened high at 236.5, 237, but I'm seeing 230s everywhere. So still no idea. We know Davis is not playing. We know LeBron is always questionable here, but will Kyrie play? Will he not? Yes. Rob, you had touched base on this game. You know, you had said it's ridiculous, sometimes the overreaction that we're getting. This is a 6.5, 7 point drop in a total, and we still don't know who the hell's playing or not playing in this game here tonight for Brooklyn. So how do you approach it?
Well, with Brooklyn, there's no other way to approach it, Joe, except look at over. They're 21-3 over the number in their last 24 games, and I think we see time after time. The other night, let's use the Phoenix game, for example. Phoenix is a team that at this point in time is committed each and every night under head coach Monty Williams to 48 minutes of defense. They're going to give you an all-out defensive effort every single night. It's not a team that is coasting through the regular season. It's a team that's trying to establish an identity, right, on the defensive end of the floor. In that game, the Nets only have one of their big three, and it just didn't matter, right? 252 points in that game. When push came to shove, the Nets come up with 40 in the fourth quarter. James Harden asks to be put back in the game, which once was a blowout, and all of a sudden the reserves brought it back. So from the Brooklyn perspective, these numbers are not hard to go over. And tonight you have 2 of their top players in as Kyrie comes back. For the Lakers, no Anthony Davis, obviously. That's why the number just ticks down, down, down. We'll see where it finally ends. The Lakers have been on a decent over run after being on a really good under run. I think when you're LA, I'm not sure. You know, I used the Phoenix defensive situation before, guys, because although Los Angeles is a really good defensive team, I'm just not positive when I watch them that they are an all-out 48-minute defensive team with intention to be that way every game, like Phoenix is. LA already knows who they are. They're going to the playoffs. They'll play defense maybe 30 out of the 48 in a big game, enough to get them victories. For Phoenix, it's a different story. You only play defense for 30 out of 48 against the Nets. You're going to give up 125 points. So to me, I don't understand why these injuries, especially in this Brooklyn Nets game, why the total would continue to come down. Real quick before I pass it off, I'll say that last night, a couple of my winners, and guys, I was not on Miami Golden State, so I didn't jinx you two in any way, shape, or form. Your bad misfortune was your own, Tony Finn.
Thank you.
The games last night, you take Minnesota and Indiana, real quick, for example. No D'Angelo Russell for like the fourth game in a row, and continually bet Minnesota totals down until the very end when money came in heavy on the over. I had that over. It wins. Boston plays Atlanta. Kemba Walker doesn't play. The number comes crashing down from like 26.5 to 22.5. Play the over. It wins easy. It's still Atlanta. It's still Tatum, and it's still Jaylen Brown. And these are the types of things I'm talking about, where injury information is just pushing these totals way too far in the wrong direction, in my estimation. And maybe it's doing that in this game as well.
230, 6.5, 7 points, Tony Finn. So when you look at this game tonight, Kyrie's going to go, LeBron's going to go. All right. Is it an over situation, or is it a side situation for you?
Yeah, it would be an over situation for me as well. And to Rob's point, yeah, especially if we're waiting. Yesterday, I was with Rob. I waited till didn't even wait, to be honest with you. But when you announce Kemba out, and you get more favor on a Boston line, which is a buy low in my estimation, making sense. The net rating with Boston with Kemba right now, they don't use him in the pick and roll like they did for the last 2 years. They don't. They're 5 points worse with Kemba in the lineup. So why does it go down? Wait is a good idea. I think it's a good idea in this game. I don't think you need to wait. I don't imagine, unless you guys disagree with me here, that this is going to see any part of 220s, high 229, whatever. I see 230. I see 231. Unless they announce LeBron's out, it may see 229. But would that stop you from playing the over, guys? Not me. I'm over in this game. And I'll go into the Suns, for instance. Listen, it's pace. It's pace. It's pace. You're right. The Suns have committed to the defense, Rob. 48 minutes of good, solid, hard-nosed defense. But much of their defensive prowess right now is that Spain look that they run, which is unusual. And they run that Spain look really well, that pick and roll from the top of the key. They run it really well. But nobody plays slower right now than the Suns. Only one team plays slower, and that's the Knicks. So pay attention. What do you think?
Are the Suns playing tonight? Like, what?
Yes, they are. They are.
Shut your hand. Nobody's talking about the Suns. Nobody cares. Ski, please.
Did Rob just mention the Suns?
I don't know. Ski, what do you? Let's talk about Dallas.
They only give me shit, Rob.
Even though they're not playing tonight. What do you think about the Mavericks? Jesus Christ. Talk to me, Ski.
They only give me shit.
Shut up. Are you going over? What are you going to go here, Ski? Phoenix Suns.
In Phoenix.
Talk about hell no, Phoenix Suns.
Oh my God!
Oh, that used to be
hell no, hell no.
Yeah, it's not a thing anymore. But I mean, I agree with what they said on the total for the most part. I mean,
how about the
Brooklyn games are reaching 250? I don't know why you get one that almost close to 220 range. So the only way I can look is over. Lakers without Anthony Davis. It's just over. It's over. I think it's 10-3 to the over, maybe, but it's just no protection at the rim. And we talked about, or I heard Rob talk about the Lakers defense, or maybe they're not locked in for a full 48. Well, Anthony Davis is the defensive anchor, and when they slip up playing defense, he's the one who's getting on everybody because he has to take up for everybody. So without him in there, I don't see very much defense at all. And I already say, like, all the time, they take pride in winning on the road, and that translates to defense. And at home, they don't really care so much. I mean, I think they'll want to win this game, but the over is 9-4 at home, and they've been trending over lately. So that's the way I look. And as far as the side, if I have to pick, I like I said, I don't like the Lakers at home as a favorite, although it's a small favorite. And Brooklyn's been playing really well. I think they kind of figured out how to play together. So I kind of lean towards Brooklyn, but I can't play that. I'll be upset all day.
You can't do it. I think the over is definitely the way to go here. Obviously, 230 currently, guys, right now. So we'll see if it drops anymore. If it does, we'll let you know so you can run to the window there and play it one way or the other. But we got one more game on the card tonight, so let's talk about the Denver Nuggets. I'm only kidding. Let's talk about the final game on the card here, and that game is none other than the Miami Heat taking on the Sacramento Kings here. This game opens up at right around the 2 mark, and it's kind of been bouncing back and forth. I've seen 2. I've seen pick'ems now. I see 1. It's kind of now it's between a pick'em and 1. Miami coming off of that loss last night in overtime to Golden State. So Tony Finn, since you brought the bad luck on us last night here in this game, both with the over and Golden State winning in overtime when they didn't lead not 1 second in regulation. Talk to me about this Miami team now, back to back. Here it is, second night, Sacramento. Do you trust Miami to put it together and win this game, and how are you going to approach it?
I trust the Pelicans to
yes,
as a
I
home
knew
dog
you would.
tomorrow against
I
the
knew
Suns,
Phoenix was coming. Yeah, I knew it. Yep.
I'm getting points. Give me the Pelicans and the points at home against the Suns. Here's my deal with Sacramento, guys. This team has no. I don't. They watch them. Even when they say we're going to play a little defense, even when they square up and they look like they have energy on the defensive side of the court, they just can't play defense. They give up the easiest, right now, the highest percentage of open looks, uncontested shots, no matter where they are on the floor, whether it be in front of the rim, whether it be from half court, whether it be from the 3-point line. And as hard as it is to play Miami over, a team that takes, I think, correct me, Rob, you do the ski, 81 shots a game on average, the lowest by far of any team in the NBA. It's difficult to play the Kings under, even playing Miami, who has to be a little bit fatigued that they're at the end of this West Coast trip, or at least on the backside of this West Coast trip, having played pretty hard games where they've played their starters.
Where the hell are you going?
A quantity of minutes. So my point is this: I have to play the over. I have to be stand up. Over.
What are you dropping for?
What?
What did you do? What did you?
What happened?
You dropped 5 feet. What the hell happened? Did you shrink? What did you?
Well, it's hard to listen to you guys. So.
I can't. Steve, Rob, whoever the hell's on the camera, go. Rob,
how's that?
Oh, that's much better. Oh, there you go. Thank you very much.
Damn, you're the first person that wanted to actually see me in a long time.
Like he lost 3 feet. So God, who should play? The Phoenix Suns? Is that where you're going?
Over.
Ski again, my man. Where are you going with this game, Ski? I don't even know what game it is anymore. Oh, New Orleans. That's
Suns.
right. Yes, the Suns.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the hell no Suns or the hell yes Suns. I got a little lost, man. I'm what are we on? Miami, Sacramento.
I'm seeing the top of his head.
Man, please don't make me talk about Miami. I was on the. I mean, that was the difference for me in a.
That's the game we're on.
Losing day. Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying. Miami Heat is
talk about anything you want.
Yesterday.
Anything you want to talk about. Yeah, talk about anything. Kentucky,
that's all I'm saying, Tony Finn. That's it. Yeah, I don't like the Miami Heat. They're terrible. How did you win? Yep. Look, we're winning the entire game. I had the Heat and I had the under. So, like I said, that's the difference between a winning day for me.
Yeah,
and I'm just pretty upset to talk about the Miami Heat in general. I said I wanted to see some consistency from them, and it looked like they were maybe ready to show it. We didn't fault them for the loss to the Jazz, but now they just look pathetic again. So the only way I could play the side would be the other side, Sacramento Kings. And I don't love asking them to win, but that's the only way I would look. As far as the total, I agree with the line move. I don't think either team's going to play much defense tonight, and I would go over if I'm playing this one. It's the 5th of a 7-game road trip for Miami, so I don't know how interested they'll be in this game. and Sacramento's extremely rested.
Monday, the Nets was the last time for Sacramento here. It's a 3-game losing streak now on the road here for the Miami Heat, Rob. And now Sacramento, they do have Hassan Whiteside, who, before you laugh, has actually been on fire here. So playing against his old team as well. How do you approach this game tonight, Rob?
Yeah, and he'll start here, right? Because Rashawn Holmes won't play. So Whiteside, who had 26 against the Nets, will be your starting center. It allows Marvin Bagley to go back to power forward. Having Whiteside in is a defensive improvement, although even reading some Luke Walton quotes, not really thrilled with the defensive performance right now. They'll be without Harrison Barnes tonight. I don't know what that means on a defensive end. Probably not much, but it does take some scoring punch away. Sacramento's probably got enough scoring punch as it is. Ski made the point about the scheduling. The situational play here obviously would be a look towards Sacramento because you've got Miami not only playing so often on the road here on this trip, but overtime last night. Does that carry over to this game against a Sacramento Kings team that's going to want to run all game long? So you could get a fatigued Miami team. The push from 223 to 227 early in the total, it's probably the right way, Joe. I don't know how you take Sacramento under. It seems like we're saying that about a lot of teams, but that's just the way of the NBA at this point in the season. These unders are, if you play one, you got to just close your eyes, maybe not even watch the game. Just go watch something else for 2 hours and come back and find out you lost because the game went over. So, it's a tough road to go to ask Sacramento to win by margin. I think the easiest way probably would be over. If Miami's going to show any fight, it would probably be first half. So maybe you'll get additional scoring in the first half. We'll see. But I would think by the second half, after last night's overtime game, Miami would be a pretty fatigued ball club.
Yeah, it's amazing how much they miss Dragic here. Everything changes when Jimmy Butler is handling the ball there. Everything slows down. It's just not a good situation right now for Miami. So it means we got to pick something out of these 3 games that we like as a best bet, and we'll go around the horn here and get just that in a second. But I do want to remind you guys right now, hurry up before Tony Finn drops another 3 feet. You are going to be able to get half-price packages today, not only from Tony Finn, but Rob Vino and Ski Profit, everybody at Wager Talk right now. Use that code THANKS50. That's THANKS50 at checkout this Thursday and next Thursday, the 18th and the 25th. Half-price packages right now by using that code THANKS50. And all right, Ski, we're going to start with you, my man. I know you got something going on in these games here that you might like a little bit more than everything else. So 60 seconds on the clock. Let's give them to him, man. Come on, talk to us. Where are you going here tonight?
Where am I going to go? I'm going to go to the Phoenix Suns. I'm not gonna go.
Good choice.
Suns, but I don't love this slate that much, honestly, but I do like this game quite a bit. And I'm the one to shit on this team, or at least a player on this team quite often. But I just think Milwaukee got a little bit embarrassed in that last game, and I think they feel embarrassed in general with the way that they perform. And without Lowry, I don't think Toronto's going to be able to play that multi-guard lineup that they have success with against Milwaukee. So we'll see if he plays. He's game time decision. But I just like a bounce back for Milwaukee in this game. I can't argue to go against the first half. Like I said, they've been really good in the first half, but I think they'll cover the full game. After they've lost the home game, they've won all of those games by an average of 11 points per game. So give me Milwaukee. And I got called out about this. Give me Milwaukee minus the 6 or 6.5, whatever it is.
Look at that. What happened? We lost the buzzer too? Apparently we've lost everything here. All right, Robin. $8 sure. That's good stuff. All right, come on, Rob. Talk to us, my man. There's got to be somewhere on this board that you like better than the others. What are you going with?
Yeah, Tony Finn in his Phoenix Suns rambling kind of made my point on this game, but he did it ass backwards. He ended up telling me how great Phoenix is defensively and to pay attention. And my point was that they're so great defensively that the Nets still got 128 against them, and the game still hit 252. I got to play Lakers Brooklyn over, guys. This thing has gone down 7 points now. And in fact, as we look, I think I just saw a stray 229.5. To me, you play Brooklyn over the number. I could even listen to somebody saying to me, you know what, LA might want to slow this game down and not run with the Nets. But the Nets force you to go. It doesn't matter. They're playing that 7-second or less offense. No matter what, you get caught up in it. Like I say, they're 21-3 over the total of the last 24. That's a big enough sample size for me. These games aren't just scooting over by 1 or 2 points. They're getting way over. TNT, you like an offensive show. I think this game gets over the number of 230. Just come down too far. You got to take advantage now.
All right, very nice. There you go. Nets, by the way, Lakers, and the Heat, Sacramento, both 10 p.m. Eastern Time tip-offs. The early game tonight is going to be that Toronto-Milwaukee at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So, Tony Finn, talk to us, my man. What do you, before you fall over, talk to us. Where are you going here tonight? 60 seconds on the clock.
I'll join Rob. I'll join everyone. I think we've all pretty much acknowledged that it's difficult to play, especially with the line drop in this Lakers game, play the under. I'm on the over in this Lakers. I thought 233 was, some called absurd. I thought it was the right number. Without Davis, I think the Nets have their way inside the paint, even without Durant. And I think that's a stretch at it. But I think Harden's figured out his role. I think he's figured out his role in a short period of time, much more so with this Brooklyn Nets team than with Houston. And he's a facilitator. And with Kyrie scoring 40-plus tonight, it's difficult. It's very difficult to play under this number. I'm over the total. And not only that, I think the Nets are probably the team to beat tonight. I don't see how the Lakers control the tempo. I don't see how they stay up offensively with the Nets. Lakers over Nets plus a small number. Book it.
Oh, hit it. Hit him with it. Hit it. Hit him with it. All right, that's good. Now you're melting. I don't even know what to do with you. I really don't. I have no idea what's going on with you. Do me a favor. Stop moving. There we go. All right, good stuff here, guys. Once again, half-price packages at WagerTalk.com right now. Use that code THANKS50 at checkout. That's THANKS50 at checkout. Go get it this Thursday and next Thursday, the 18th and 25th. Take advantage of the opportunity. Let's look at the recap here of the best bets. Ski. He going Bucks, laying the 6.5. Just go with Milwaukee. Likes him possibly in the first half as well. Nets, Lakers, over 230. Rob Vino and Tony Finn are both in agreement with that. And, Rob, you're right. I did see a 229.5 popped up, and then as soon as it did, it's gone. So, but it seems to be going that way. Keep an eye out for it, guys. Make sure you're visiting all three of these gentlemen at WagerTalk.com. Do me a favor, hit that bell in the upper right-hand corner. Subscribe here to the YouTube channel at WagerTalk. And come back and join us again tomorrow as we get a full card in the association heading into the weekend. We appreciate the time. We appreciate the support. Best of luck with your plays tonight, guys. We will see you again tomorrow. Have a good night, guys.
By popular demand, it is back. The NBA. Wager Talk stat sheet. Can you analyze the NBA with just one page of information? I think you can. And that's why the stat sheet was devised. It gives you year-to-date stats for every team playing that evening, broken up both home and away and overall on the season. And most importantly, it takes the last 2 weeks. There are many ebbs and flows in an NBA season, but looking at how a team has done the last 2 weeks, straight up, against the spread, and over-under is important. I've added an extra feature, though. Points scored, points allowed, average line, and average total. Having an ATS or over-under number is important, but knowing by how much that team has covered those games or how much the team went over or under the total, even more important. I also add a free Best Bet Daily. The NBA Wager Talk stat sheet, free daily. You go to WagerTalk.com, go to the Ralph Michaels page.